scene in Portland.
Sure,
Are you
I'm willing
prepared
to do
specifically
that,
do it? Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing.
Out and vote. You're in voting now. Vote and let your senators know how strongly you feel.
After 4 years of division and a campaign like no other,
Decision Desk can now project.
Tweeted, big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there. Will be wild.
To fight much harder, and Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us. And if he doesn't, that will be a sad day for our country.
Cards or the thick of it. However, when it does become interesting, it sure does become interesting. Very interesting indeed. The most recent example of an interesting political event is the fight for the White House between former President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. The 2020 US presidential election is probably the most contested and eventful election since the 2000 election between George Bush and Al Gore. This is a story of division and power. This is a story that revolves around the battle for the White House and the future for the American people. So will you join me? Shall you?
You could never have done the job that we did. You don't have it in your blood. You could have never done that job.
I know how to do the job.
H1N1, you were a disaster. Your own chief of staff said you were a disaster.
14,000 people died, not 200,000. There was no one, we didn't shut down the economy. This is his economy he shut down.
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down? Are you prepared to specifically
do it?
Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you supremacists and right-wing militia?
Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what.
You should go out and vote. You're in voting now. Vote and let your senators know how strongly you feel. Vote now.
Are you going to pack the
Make
court?
sure you, in fact, let people know you're a senator. I'm not going to answer the question
because you answer that
because
question?
the question is
radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen.
Is it true that you paid $750 in federal income taxes each of those 2 years?
I paid millions of dollars in taxes. I paid
returns.
$38 million 1 year. I paid $27 million.
Show us your tax returns.
I went, you'll see it as soon as it's finished.
Show up and vote. You will determine the outcome of this election. Vote, vote, vote.
President Trump, Vice President Biden, it's been an interesting hour and a half.
Hey, Fauci, you're so fired. You're so fired and then rehired. Hey, Fauci.
Sir, the election results are coming in. Shouldn't we be watching TV?
Antifa got the cable.
after 4 years of division and a campaign like no other, Sky News is now ready to call the result of this US election. A record number of votes from a nation facing a stark choice. Now the race for the White House is at an end. America has decided and entrusted its future to one man. A moment of history. Sky News can now say that the next president of the United States is projected to be Joe Biden.
Pennsylvania and Nevada, putting him over the 270 electoral votes he needs to become the 46th president of the United States.
Donald Trump, the 45th president of the United States, who stated in this process, "I will never give up fighting for you and our nation."
An ABC News election update. Now reporting chief anchor George Stephanopoulos.
Good morning. We have breaking news results from the state of Pennsylvania. Those results are in right now. And based on what we are seeing there, we can say that Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. is on track to win the state of Pennsylvania, become the 46th president of the United States. In a winner, we can say that Joe Biden is on track to be the next president of the United States of America, the 46th president of the United States.
I lost. My cheeseburger lied. How could he lie when he's so delicious?
Joe, you won.
Fantastic. Who's getting a super scrambled Biden hash?
I guess the whole nation.
Whoa.
Tweeted, big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there. Will be wild. As the fog of mayhem dissipates, the full picture of the terror, the crisis that took place in the nation's capital on Wednesday is coming into focus. College results to vote against Pennsylvania seating their electors who voted for Joe Biden. And after the rioters broke in, we got eyewitness accounts of people marauding through capitals at that protest on Wednesday, riled up the crowd. Rudy Giuliani called on them to settle the election.
And Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us. And if he doesn't, that will be a sad day for our country.
Something way, way darker, more violent, more sinister, and more organized happening in that Capitol on Wednesday. And it's time we see it clearly. We got eyewitness accounts of people marauding through Capitol Hill looking for the vice president. A Reuters editor saying he heard at least 3 different rioters at the Capitol and directed to the Capitol by the President of the United States, who hoped they would successfully intimidate members of Congress out of certifying the rightfulness, erected a gallows with a noose right outside the Capitol. This is a video of a crowd chanting, "Hang Mike Penn."
He wants you to go home. I'm recording, and there's so many people. It's just, they're going to push their way up here.
Who live streamed on Facebook as he joined the mob storming through the Capitol. He was not the only professional Republican politician.
To administer the presidential oath to the next President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the oath of office, followed by musical honors.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
Office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
It is now 2021 and the memory of that is still fresh in our minds. Well, it is now since I have showed you all of it. Joe Biden is the 46th President of the United States, and Donald Trump is now truly fired, if you pardon the pun. Trump is still claiming that the election was rigged and is going to have another shot at the White House in 2024. Who knows who will be on the ticket in 2024? We could see a rematch between Trump versus Biden. We could see Harris and Pence battle out in 2024, or maybe even Biden versus Pence. Joe Biden has a lot of work to do when it comes to healing a divided nation. The American people have voted for Joe Biden to do that job. The only question now is, can he fix the divided US at all?